What has changed since the last time we spoke?
Well, we announced yesterday a groundbreaking partnership with Quidel, California-based testing company. That was the first to be approved for what people refer to as these point of care rapid result tests, where you basically get a result in 15 minutes. And we think this is a game changer for us because our medical advisors said this is the only way they can be confident that if we're asking student athletes to go practice in a high contact sport like football or basketball, for example, the only way we can be confident we're not encouraging the spread of the virus. That's kind of a standard of care. Our medical advisors and our presidents have felt that we should apply. We're asking student athletes to participate in activity. It's not recommended by the CDC. It's not a socially distanced activity. So there's been a sense we've had, and we've been, on one end of the spectrum here, that there's a moral and ethical responsibility for students to not put them in more harm's way than they'd be in otherwise. And by being able to test a student athlete every day before they go into practice or game, we can have a high degree of confidence that no one in practice or a game has the coronavirus and could spread it. So this is an important step in the path to us reconsidering resumption of play.
How soon is this test going to be available?
So we, signed and announced the agreement yesterday. We're going to have all the materials sent to our schools by the end of this month. And so by the beginning of October, we're going to be able to start the testing. And we're also doing a research project for the company on how young, mostly asymptomatic, healthy student athletes, what's the impact of being able to test daily? Because our universities do a lot of research. Are working on some of these vexing challenges with COVID, and in athletics, we're going to have a big test case. And there's a thesis that this kind of daily testing with rapid results could also be the answer to return to school for K through 12 kids, return to work, and society and the economy getting back to normal. So there's another component of that too. But to answer your question, October will be in kind of full testing mode.
If the test goes well, is the Pac-12 in business playing football this fall?
I believe we will be. Whether it's in the fall or January 1st remains to be seen. This isn't unfortunately our only challenge. We've got 6 schools currently, Dan. The 4 California schools, UCLA, USC, Stanford, and Cal, and 2 of our Oregon schools, Oregon and Oregon State, that don't currently have government approvals to have contact practice. I know the approvals have been given for pro sports, but not for college sports. So we'll need some help from the county's public health officials to bless this and say it's okay. Now, I think what we announced yesterday is going to be an important piece of that. I think the public health officials are keenly interested in what our plans and protocols are. So I'm hopeful that we will get what we need.
But as it is now, you're not going to play fall football.
No, as it is now, we had made a decision several weeks ago.
And this doesn't change that.
It could. It doesn't yet. Again, we don't have government approvals yet. Yeah. But if we get the government approvals and we can implement this testing, certainly we could. Basketball, it looks like the NCAA is going to change the start date of the basketball season from November 10th to probably November 25th or later. So that's probably the first decision we got to take. Can we revisit the decision to not play basketball before January 1st and maybe start the season at the same date or close to when the rest of the country is? And then on a parallel path, we've got to weigh up, does it make sense to start the football season in late November, early December, or does it make sense to, get through finals for the student athletes, get through the Christmas holidays and start in January? One of our considerations is going to be, trying to move in tandem with the Big Ten if we can. It's a little unclear where they are and what they're going to do, despite me talking to their commissioner every day. But, if the 2 of our conferences can move together, we've got pretty exciting vision of playing, Big Ten, Pac-12 seasons, finishing with a Pac-12 championship, Big Ten championship, and then playing a Rose Bowl and other bowl games at the end of the season, even if it's an early spring game.
But if all goes well, Commissioner, when is the Pac-12 playing football?
Well, right now, I've got high degree of confidence we're playing in January.
Okay.
It's possible because of this announcement we could play sooner. So I think the significance of yesterday's announcement and having access to this testing is, I can look you in the eye virtually and tell you I've got a high degree of confidence we're playing just on a postponed basis. We're going to have a full, exciting season for our student athletes. Well, I shouldn't say full as in playing 12 games. I think it will be abbreviated like it is in other conferences. What's now also a possibility is we could start earlier than January, but that's going to depend on some things outside our control, like public health authorities and making the decision, does it make sense to start at the end of the year or just wait to the beginning of the year?